Just to sort of drill down a bit on the flash fiction component. If I'm being honest too, I think that the market definitely needs a lot more flash fiction out there. I've heard it stated before that I think it was actually Jack Ketchum that mentioned it. Although, a novel is very much like a long-term relationship, whereas short stories more like a fast-burning one-night stand. So, how do you feel the flash fiction fits into the pantheon of storytelling as somebody that both reads them and, of course, writes them?
Wow, that whole thing, that sounds like a Jack Ketchum quote right there. But yeah, for me, the flash fiction, it really, for me, it takes a lot of craft. For me, it takes a lot of work to get that idea to fit into that small footprint.
I guess maybe a flash fiction would be like a nice long kiss, or maybe that's all you need in your life, and it's it can leave you some lasting memories and lasting impressions.
I mean, I think for me as a writer, when I'm trying to do it and to make it feel satisfying, I'm looking at the flip side of what makes a flash fiction satisfying to me as a reader. And I think that comes down to character, conflict, and setting. And for a short story or novel, you've got a lot of room to develop those, even though I like to
Mhm.
get those up front. But when you're looking at 500 words, maybe 1,000 words max, how can you get character, conflict, and setting? How can you get a beginning, middle, and end? And you have to. That's where I think the art of it comes into. And there's no
Mhm.
one answer. And I think it's just interesting structures and interesting ways to make that happen, and where the focus on any of those elements is to make it satisfying as as a reader, to have it come back and have like, wow, I just had this little thing, but I felt like I went somewhere, I felt like I knew someone, or I felt like something happened. And at least for me, I feel like it's the most challenging of the art forms.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's so rewarding, so satisfying when you absolutely nail it, both as a writer and, of course, on the other side of it as a reader.
Yeah, I'll put it out there, like, at least by my own standards. A lot of times I feel like I miss the mark. I read it and I'm like, you know what? Some of them I was thrilled. I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually good. But for every good one, I looked at it and I'm like, that was a nice try, but it missed that dartboard. And that also makes it easier when you're like, you just got to be like, hey, I liked it. That was a good one, but I don't think it came to life. And sometimes it does. And I guess the readers can decide that, what comes to life for them, what doesn't.